ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the ESL Pro League. I am joined by Lauren Pansy Scott and Harvard Gunnarsdal Vendetta. It's close enough. Close enough.
It's good enough.
Close enough. Yeah, it's a tricky one when they always throw these Norwegian names at me or Finnish names or just get Natu back in here. I'm like, I don't know, mate. I don't think I can do it.
Yeah.
Natu, yeah, we're going to throw him in there. But let's talk about yesterday. Let's get the scores on your screens to begin with. Obviously, yesterday it was a pretty solid start. NIP up against Virtus.pro. Dominant stuff on Cash. And then a little bit of struggles on Overpass until Pasha decides to start playing on the mobile. Wasn't really by choice, sadly. And then G2 against EnVyUs. Similar scores on both maps. Different stories, though. Cash was very one-sided, 12-3 first half. But Train could have been a bit closer.
Definitely could have been. Envy for a long time, just from the T side, looked very promising on that map. Fell a bit through on their CT side, and also down to a couple of rounds, especially that Existence and Scream round with the Deagles turned the tide around a bit. But that could have easily been a 1-1 split.
Yeah, that could have easily been different. Obviously, it was the first showing of Devil. Let's see what that means for the league table overall. Of course, it does now mean that Ninjas in Pajamas are at the top of the table. And of course, Astralis, Hot Pursuit, and Fnatic, who will be in action on Sunday. But Envy versus FlipSid is going to be our first game of the day. Big old challenge for FlipSid. They've only had 2 games in this league so far. And EnVyUs, how are they going to do with the new boy? This is potentially a rough old week for them.
It really could be. However, this should be a matchup they do particularly well in. FlipSid seemingly have had to take the title of the punching bag of the league as everyone else has really upped their game. However, we've not seen too much from FlipSid, only playing, I guess, 1 match or 2 maps, I guess you can call it, against Astralis. So still, a lot to be seen from these guys, but I don't know how much they can bring when everyone else is stepping up their performance.
Yeah, in that middle of the table, it's scary stuff. You can see 4 and 4 all over the place, 2 and 2. A lot of teams to have a lot of big games so far. Navi versus FaZe will be the second one. Let's get them on your screens to see exactly what maps they're going to be playing on. FlipSid versus Envy. It's actually a pretty good map pool for EnVyUs, for FlipSid, sorry. It's going to be Mirage and Cobblestone to start with, which is, for me, FlipSid, Mirage, that is their home map. That is home turf. And Cobblestone, not so sure on, not so bad. But EnVyUs also have had their little shakes on there recently.
Yeah, no, the problem really with figuring out where we have Envy right now is obviously going to be really hard, seeing how they swapped out Kiyoshima, was a big part of that defense on especially Cobble. Envy have been a pretty solid Mirage team for quite some time, even though they don't necessarily go to it as often. So I would still favor Envy on a map like Mirage, simply because of the players that they have. But Cobble, after having watched FlipSid play MLG qualifiers first off, where they came off to me as the most impressive team.
Very impressively, yeah.
Even though they didn't finish first in their group, they just dismantled Tempo Storm.
And that in itself is a very impressive score when you look how
Now
good Tempo Storm were IEM, yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Everything kind of changed because everyone thought...
Your perspective suddenly oh, they're just beating Tempo Storm not really good. And then they turn up in Katowice and you're like, holy cow.
Okay, what does this mean for everything else, right? But then again, flip side of this team that has a lot of potential, and always had a lot of potential with the individual players there. You look at the likes of World Edit, these guys were always meant to be these big heavy hitters, but then kind of shied away, if I'm honest. They haven't been that consistent. But then again, World Edit started to play a little bit better in the previous matchups. As you said, Mirage was always a really nice matchup for him and against most people if he's having a hot game. When he's quiet, nothing else seems to kind of fall into place for them. Yeah, and
we also need to talk about the potential threat that this game has. Of course, FlipSid would be the potential to be down the bottom of the table. They were in first season, they got relegated, they managed to fight their way back in there last year through the relegation process. Now, 12th place is auto-relegation. Currently, Virtus.pro is sat there 1-11. That's not comfy statistics.
That's horrible.
And if FlipSid can just pick up a couple of maps offer, you know, a new
broken,
team like
yeah.
EnVyUs or something like that, a team that's just trying to find its place. This is where they've got a real chance of starting to score some of those wins.
They definitely could do. I think the problem is as well, though, you look at Envy coming into this, they're going to be pretty shaky too, because Devils had a rough start, let's call it. He didn't have a brilliant game in the first one. Even I think G2 came out saying, guys, be nice to this guy. It's his first showing. Stop being asses. Yeah. Like, sure, you take a little bit of time to get used to it, but FlipSid can't have that mentality of just be nice, guys, he's new here. They're going to come in like, all right, there's a weakness. We can do something with this. We can work with this. If they're not the Envy that's flawless, that they've got that powerful element, maybe we could pick up a map or two, and then that suddenly means Virtus.pro are sat there just going, really?
The thing is, I mean, are they right to? Are fans right to be angry? I mean, this is EnVyUs. This is a top team that's been at the top of Counter-Strike. No, they're a top 5 team in the world.
But
they're a team that you would expect. Okay, we're replacing Kiyoshima. Okay, what superstar is going to come and replace him? And they pull in this basically from a third-tier team. I would say third-tier team. LDLC White is fair.
Yeah.
From a third-tier team. I mean, it's a lot of pressure on Devil and a lot of pressure on Envy themselves as an organization to basically say, okay, we're replacing this guy that's been at the top of the board for 2 years with a perspective unknown to the majority of fans.
Well, I think they have to look at it with, from various perspectives, really. You have to look at it from the sense of EnVyUs, who obviously have to deal with each other every single day, and if they figure, well, this is not going to work long term, then they have to be strong about it and say that, well, we're going to have to make a change. And that's something, well, fans can be pissed about it, but in the end, they're completely irrelevant in that decision-making. As for just being disappointed with how Devil played, I think you have to give someone a fair chance to actually show what they can do. We've seen 2 maps.
I mean, also the role that he's put in for the team.
Yeah,
he's not been given a chance to shine. He's in,
not yet.
afraid to say it, the bitch role is what it's labeled as when a new guy comes in. The water boy, what was it? The gunpowder carrier, I think it's called. The gunpowder monkey.
Yeah, it's for me, Envy has a lot of issues that we don't necessarily see. We see the outcome of those issues in game, whether it's communication breakdowns, those amount of 5v2s they lose. You know what I mean? Like these kind of situations you shouldn't be losing comes down to either team chemistry, internal workings, poor communication, and maybe just not listening to MBK. You've seen these guys getting more and more frustrated with each other. And if that's an internal cause, an internal problem, they had to make a difference. Sure, maybe they would keep getting those top 3, top 4 results. They'll be pushing the limits there. But if they're a team trying to get to #1 again, constantly trying to strive for being the best out there, they have to actively look for change. Now, if they're not getting it with the same lineup, then you switch it around. Then you have to look elsewhere. I think it was Fallen who said in an interview, it was actually with MBK as well, it was with Thorin doing one of their talk shows, and he even said, you know, at the end of the day, if players hit their limit and they're not improving at some point, if that's as far as you can go, then even though maybe you're doing quite well, if you want to be the best, you have to look at the possibility of lineup changes. And for Envy, it's not a bad idea for them to do it. It's just how then do they deal with that kind of really rough period between, okay, new player comes in, let's see how he does. The first couple of games are going to be awful. He's going to be absolutely bricking himself, if I'm honest, because, as you said, Envy aren't exactly a small unknown team. They are the French team to look at. They're the ones that get all the fans. They are well known to the public. There's a lot of eyes on this guy. So, of course, he's going to be nervous. Of course, he's going to probably whiff a couple of things, but it's about how he deals with that internally in the team. Because, you know, the amount of players who just go dead quiet after something goes wrong in a game is the most frustrating thing in the world. You keep yourself calm, you keep, you know, communicating, you keep trying to help out in any way you can. Fine, it doesn't really matter as long as you can overcome that down the line. Then you're pretty much set. It's the mentality, hopefully, that he has that works with MBK, that works with the rest of the team, and it kind of encourages others. Because I think it's also a statement piece. Bearing in mind, it's like, hey, if we're willing to cut Keo, the rest of you,
nobody's
step
safe.
up.
Yeah,
nobody's
no one is safe.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the communications
were
literally put to the test. Also, the team itself put to the test. The fact they lost that 4-on-2 yesterday, it was Smith's fantastic entry, getting a quick double. But immediately, to lose a 4-on-2 in a pistol, it puts you on your back foot. And to go 12-3 down on the first half and cash against your rivals G2, but then actually show resolve and to pull it back to, I think it was 16-12 score in the end. It clearly shows there is still definitely something in the works. There's definitely a lot of fight in that team, and then they showed a much better performance on Train. So it's definitely not going to be an easy game for FlipSid.
No, I think if when you've gotten to this point and you've played professionally as long as these guys have, you know that with lineup changes, you're going to have one of two things. You're going to have instant success, which we usually refer to as a honeymoon, exactly, or you're going to have a bit of a slump, and they're okay with that. They know that long term, it's probably going to pay off. And it's going to be better for us than what it would have been to just maintain that, you know, as you said, third to fourth potential lineup, right?
For me, it's more though, how long do they give him? How long until it becomes another issue?
Well, he's got a month. That much we know,
I guess that's
up
it,
to the
right?
major, and that is the big test. That's what everything's for. Like,
well,
lead up to that major and see how it goes.
I think also the question for EnVy has to be that, well, we pick up Devil now, and we're going to give him, let's say, the time up to the major to actually impress us or do something worthwhile of actually keeping him around. But they also have to consider, where do we go if we don't?
Is Malmo before or after the major?
It's after.
It's after, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks after. So EnVy has to figure out whether or not, if they want to remove Devil because they don't feel he is actually fulfilling the roles he should be, then where do they go next?
Yep.
Are they going to go back to Kiyoshima and be like,
Hey.
Hey, buddy.
do you have
Hope you learned
short-term
your
memory?
lesson.
Yeah. That could get really awkward. And if that's not an option, then they're gonna have to again find someone new and go through that same thing all over again. And it's MBK said at the start of this week, and when they made the lineup changes, they're gonna have a really rough couple of weeks ahead of them.
Yep.
And they couldn't have met FlipSid at a worse time, because FlipSid are notorious for just being a middle of the pack tier 2 team until their spot at a major comes into question, and all of a sudden they just ramp up everything. They just play like a much better team, and they're still in that zone right now. They have a potential to make those top 8 spots at Columbus, and they're going to be playing lights out. They're going to put in the hours to actually make that kind of goal, to make sure they don't have to go through another qualifier to get into that sticker money.
So
right?
let's talk about the maps they're playing tonight. It is going to be Mirage and Cobblestone, EnVy versus FlipSid. Last time they met, actually FlipSid came out on top, and this was at Star Ladder just, a month ago, 2 months ago now. On both of these maps, Mirage and Cobble is where they won the game. So this is already a problem, because this is when Keo was in the team.
Yeah.
So immediately, FlipSid are going to be coming into this one thinking, this is great. We've already beaten them on these 2 maps. We came out so well in this veto process.
Yeah, no, I think they should definitely be happy. Then again, if you're EnVy, you're not too upset either, because Cobblestone, been a staple map for you, and Mirage also a very good map pick.
See, the thing is, actually, they've not played well on Mirage lately. Just think back to their absolute spanking they had from Astralis in Barcelona.
But then
That is
Astralis.
true. Yeah,
Well, I mean, it is Astralis, and Astralis are on the comeback. But still, they weren't even in the races in that game.
No, and it's, I mean, you're not going to be impressed by the fact that they managed to lose to the current form Virtus Pro and Cobblestone either, but you'd still pick EnVy to win Cobblestone whenever they play a lot of the time, right?
One and only win Virtus Pro have was on Cobblestone against
Their little
EnVy.
pocket ace that just can keep
but
like.
even with that happening, you're not going to discredit all of the things that EnVyUs have done previously on Cobble. So, it's still good maps for them, but they obviously are going to have to face the issues that they're playing with a new player, and that can mess up everything, whether it's going to be on the T side or the CT side. I think that's...
And a lot of it hinges on World Edit. Is he gonna be landing those shots? He's gonna be against Kenny S this time around. A lot of pressure in that one. There has been, we were talking about the consistency of sometimes he's amazing, sometimes he just disappears from a game entirely.
This could be a very punishing matchup for him, to be fair. I think a lot of people discussing, like, when will Markelov return to us?
Oh,
we pray.
We try.
We pray
I know I got
many,
Yanko
many
going. I was pulling his heartstrings the other week.
But no, everyone in that lineup has a great deal of potential. I don't know much about Shara personally, but he's been being relatively consistent since he's come into it, playing very well. Bondik as well. Everyone's been kind of having some good performances. It's not been a bad team for them. But it's just... one-to-one skill base, you'd always put your money on EnVy, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you look at these two lineups. But then again, Cobble hinges, at least in my eyes, with EnVy, a lot on what Happy can achieve. Whenever they've played this map, and excluding the one, let's say, Hiccup, quote-unquote, Happy's lurk has been outstanding. And it's always around drop room on their T side. It's always so well-timed. And it pretty much, I guess, highlights some of the issues with Cobblestone as well. He'll make it so hard for any CT side to be in the correct place at the correct time. He'll always catch people off. And if they're not aware of this already, they will be by the end of that T side. They will be absolutely in shreds by it. So I think EnVy generally will be pretty decent on Cobble to a degree. I want them to start off on T side. I want to see them get that going personally for me. But yeah, there's a lot more win conditions that need to come into place for FlipSid than it does for EnVy on these two maps.
I want to spin things on because we probably might not have time. We'll see how it goes tonight. Na'Vi versus FaZe is the second matchup tonight. It is on Dust 2 and Mirage. Now, we saw FaZe in action the other day. Granted, it was a very harsh moment because they ended up being 4v5 for a while, and then the coach came in, the manager came in. It's just like, who's going to play for next? Yeah, who could come in there next? But they are up against Na'Vi. The Na'Vi themselves have a struggle right now. They are 4-4. They themselves have problems with Guardian against NIP. It seems to be that whole thing that goes around with NIP play. But Na'Vi versus FaZe, this is a real close one because these guys, this is literally whoever loses this is probably not going to make it. I mean, even at this point, I'm talking with 4 losses.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind, over the last 2 years, 6 to 7 losses has been that cutoff, and they're already both at 4.
Yeah, I know. They definitely don't want to go 0-2.
Actually, I think FaZe at 2-2, to be fair.
Yeah, I think they could definitely live with the tie here, basically a split, because these are 2 of the challengers for that 4th spot. So they can actually deal with it as long as they do what they're supposed to do afterwards. I'm gonna have to side with Na'Vi though, even though you haven't really seen Na'Vi being the same kind of forceful self that they were in a couple of weeks ago. I would still put them above FaZe because we haven't really seen anything from FaZe that would lead you to think that they're gonna come back towards that Inclusion of Poker kind of form.
It's strange, isn't it? And it's weird though. Guardian even said himself he had a very poor Katowice. He got outdone quite a lot. Whether it was Fallen or Henny, it didn't really matter. You know, the Brazilians absolutely just trashed him 1-1, which was very weird to see. Normally, most people avoid taking that fight against Guardian 1-1. Any AWPer will try and either find a way around it, maybe not just to go for those direct challenges, but Henny was pinning him to the wall.
Henny was playing confidently.
Like, Henny was going out there, and at the end of it, if you looked up the stats throughout their games, the amount of times that Henny got the kill towards Guardian, I think it was like 16-6 every time he won it, basically. That's a ridiculous amount that he was actually winning out those duels. So for Guardian to have an off game, it's weird, because you see like the rest of Na'Vi suddenly. It's like, well, you can move away the mountain and see what's behind it, right? And it was like, well, where's the rest of
Skittering around in the shadows.
Yeah, and there was a couple of players who did step up, though. You know, a lot of these players have the potential to kind of swing around, but then you always look at Na'Vi with the big factor of Guardian there, and when he's not, it's a very different team element. So for me, sure, it should be Na'Vi's game. I don't think there's any disputing that right now. It should be a close game, but it should probably be Na'Vi's, especially with Dust 2 in the pool. I always feel that's a nice strength for them, no matter what. But FaZe have a lot to prove at the moment. They've had a downturn in not necessarily performance, but like their style, like that little flair they had. The honeymoon period might be finally grinding away, that people were like, oh, surely the superstar lineup's going to, start to feel these issues at some point that everyone theorized at the start. And maybe they are, maybe they're not. Maybe it's just, Robin's coming in, they're trying to change things up, trying to find a new stance. Could be completely fair and warranted. But I think we'll just see a nice kind of display of where these two teams are at the moment. Who's performing, who's not. For FaZe, for me, it's like, do they have that flair still? Do they have that power to them that can really
Are we going to see those highlight moments from Makalele and stuff like this?
Exactly, the deagle that Fox just, ruined. Thank you,
Oh,
Fox.
God, yes.
And for Na'Vi...
I'd almost forgot.
Never forget.
What the Fox?
Wow. But yeah, for Na'Vi, it's just who's going to step up with Guardian. If Guardian has a good game, great. If not, that's when I really start to enjoy Na'Vi games.
Yeah, I guess the benefit that Na'Vi has from that, because as you said, Guardian had probably the worst tournament of his CSGO career at Katowice, but
it still wasn't awful, but it was bad for Guardian.
Yeah, and they still placed well at that tournament, and that was mainly due to the performance of guys like Flamey and Zeist.
Oh, Flamey was ridiculous.
Flamey was absolutely insane, and it's kind of, when you look at the statistics afterwards, it's mind-boggling that someone with that kind of a performance didn't actually, pull his team to win. But he was just going off against, when you were talking about the Brazilians shutting down Guardian, Flamey was doing his best to do.
Keeping it back, yeah. But the thing is that the one thing about Flamey as well was that he was the kind of like, that upcoming young player who had that ridiculous aim, like the pure confidence.
He's still young.
Yeah. But no, it's like he never found that consistency, but now it seems more and more often he's actually being able to perform like that at the really big events, which is
he's definitely the number 2. Like, you look at Guardians, like, oh, he's struggling. Okay, Flamey's stepping it up.
Yeah, he's the one right behind. But yeah, I'm loving watching Flamey at the moment. This guy, it's not the fact that he just does well, like, scoreboard-wise. It's the kind of impact of the kills he gathers is unreal. Like, it's not like he's getting these easy, like...
It's the big entries.
Yeah, exactly. And he hammers it out and then just takes the sight off the back of it. Like, this guy is a beast to watch. And if he keeps getting more and more consistent, I think everyone's going to start once again going, wow, okay, Flamey, just Guardian, great, you're a consistent monster at this game, but right behind him will be Flamey just walking in those footsteps. So I'm really excited to see how that one goes down.
Yeah, I can tell you guys, obviously you guys in Twitch chat are currently spamming, start the game already, start the game already, start the game already. We're still waiting for Shara. Shara is not in the game,
Shara,
so we don't want to start 4v5. We've had that already. Apparently we are ready, though he's not in the game in my screen, but something miraculous is going to happen in the next 90 seconds. We're going to go over to the casters, guys. It's going to be Semler and Itty Bitty Moses.
Wow, dude.
It's just unreal.
What did you say to him to get him to keep using this day after day, bro?
Apparently, I have just insulted like every single cat.
I don't get it, man. Like all of Katowice as well. People just throwing it, Like I just made the joke once,
Oh, you were the one that
was on the
started
fly.
it. I forgot about that somewhere. You could have just let that one slide. Now it's on.
On the fly.
Game is on.
Dude, this is good. All right. Yeah, so welcome everybody. You know, unfortunately, the guys at the desk, they had to carry for a while because we were waiting on a player, but it seems like we're not waiting anymore, so we should be able to get into the game pretty soon. It is going to be Envy versus FlipSid on Mirage.
Yeah.
And so, you know, what do we make of this match, Moses? What do you think, at least?
I'm pretty curious to see what kind of form FlipSide's going to be in, because I think Vendetta just brought it up that they always seem to, when major qualification is on the line, they like step their game up and they become at least, beasts in that qualifier before getting to the major. So they actually looked really good tactically, outplaying a lot of people at that qualifier. Also, World Edit was an animal.
I'll throw it out there, man. World Edit has always been solid. He's just been the guy to take the back seat all the time, right?
Yeah.
He's always been that core opper. But then when Simple's on the team, it's like, okay, actually, World Edit, Simple's gonna op now. It always seems like he's the one who gets kind of wrecked.
Well,
Speaking of which,
it's funny to think about what we saw out of Henny at IEM, because World Edit just beasted him at the qualifier, like just put him to shame.
yeah, but that wasn't
That wasn't Henny.
That wasn't
the real Henny.
That wasn't Tempo Storm.
Just gonna wipe that one off.
Yeah, no, that never happened. No, we're just gonna live with the Tempo Storm that beasted everybody at Katowice, had a sick tournament and barely lost to Navi. We'll go with that. We'll go with that version of
Are
Tempo
we gonna
Storm.
forget about World Edit just being a monster?
No. I mean, he's always had it in him.
Selective
man.
memory, we're saying.
He's always had it in him, man. That's
like
the thing. Selective memory, exactly. It's not against who they were playing. It's just the fact that he stepped up, right? There we go. Problem solved. Easy.
Got it figured out.
Well, they aren't wasting any time now. We're live in the pistol, and Envy, no subtlety there. Straight up Kevlar. They're looking for a brawl. Whereas FlipSid, it's just going to be World Edit. Speak of the devil, he's got the he's got the one taps. All right, Happy.
Out of my face.
Happy's like, wait, I thought we were friends. It just doesn't work. Apex on the side as well. He's getting dinked down. Dude, they're doing big damage right now, FlipSid, but they need to get a kill. Just random clicks through the smoke from Kenny, giving away his position, so that'll help things out. And Devil's been dropped down to 22. Man, FlipSid are just winning all of the duels flat out right now.
At range as well, which is where those CT pistols are supposed to shine. And now they have players they have so many low players that they have to do this retake with. And they do find Markaloff in World Edit, which is a good start, but still a tall task ahead of them here.
Yeah, they really don't have much HP for a fight, so this is going to be tough. They may have a man advantage, but everybody, they just keep getting dropped low. Finally, the kills are going to start coming in here for FlipSid. 3 players still remain, 1 on Tetris, and you can see Blade just landing the shots, and Bondic from Palace is going to be picking up the last one. So FlipSid, they will succeed in picking up that pistol round, but yeah, Envy, for a moment there, it looked good until they all just got headshot with the Glocks.
Well, when you have all 5 members of the CT team pick up armor like that, you're pretty much relying on winning those ranged battles. They need to win their duels that they find, and literally the first 3 of them that encountered anyone from FlipSid just got destroyed. They lost all of them initially, and then finally it just comes to bear at the end when they fall. And now we have NBK on the scout, obviously Mirage over towards the B-bomb site, and investment pistol armor for everyone else.
I'd like give my firstborn for Markaloff to walk over into Palace and drop that Molotov down into Shadow right now. There's like 3 players from Envy just chilling.
Just watch all the ants like scurry out.
Yeah, have a barbecue basically. Oh, NBK used to be lethal with the scout, and the headshot onto Markaloff. Not too bad. They threw onto the site though, and he misses a fairly easy shot there. World Edit stopped walking, and NBK, he bites the dust, or soon will. He still gets a tag onto Bondic though, so he's going to make it expensive here for FlipSid. 1 death and Bondic low. That's a guy carrying a rifle as well, so we'll see if they decide to change things up if he hands that AK off to somebody else, because Shara's down to 1 HP. And what is this? Kenny comes out of nowhere, takes out Blade. Apex on short gets shut down, and Bondic and World Edit having something to say about it, but it's still a 2-on-2, and this has got to favor Envy. They've got the life lead, a massive one, and Shara's not going to be able to get it done. Devil, 3 kills for him.
That is a sick retake, and somehow that collapses for FlipSid. They do find NBK, and it wasn't like he stayed alive for so long doing massive damage. He gets that 1 kill in the tag, but it's Kenny who comes over and gets that initial dink onto a player on top of Van, who really does the damage. It, brings so much attention his way, so that flank up catwalk works perfectly for Envy. So FlipSid dropping the ball a little bit. Yeah, it was this one right here, that dink. Nice little dink.
Yeah, dude, Shara, he couldn't really do anything. I mean, Blade, I guess he wasn't expecting Kenny to push behind him like that so quickly.
Yeah, because he heard the footsteps, kind of was running the whole way. A little interesting. Maybe he thought that there was some kind of miscommunication breakdown where he thought someone else was going to be covering it. There's a nice nade.
Yeah, exactly. Who's not going to be, hearing the communication for a while? World Edit. Because he just took a nade to the face. Then Blade's like, hey, you going to mess with my boys? You going to mess with my boy? I got something to say about that with the Deeg.
These Deagles are getting so lethal recently.
It's crazy. Look, Bondic, another one. They're actually just, they're really getting good at just hitting those one taps. You actually have teams going for like quad deagles these days now, and that's not actually a big surprise in the follow-up rounds. I mean, Devil from CT kind of holding the line here. Nice spray by NBK. He gets caught on the edge of the door though, and that's he's gonna get punished for it.
This is a lot of damage being taken. It is and not even armor bought up in a lot of these FlipSid players. I don't think any, in fact. Just the deagles, some upgraded pistols, and now World Ed and Bondek, they shouldn't win this round. They're just so low. The bomb is down as well atop a connector. Devil's in a good spot, so this should just be an easy wipe up from here for Envy, but they've already lost 3 players in this. That's very expensive.
So another 2 kills on the board for Devil. And they're trying to wrap things around. They're going to come in through mid. Happy. He has to hear the footsteps, but there's so much time left on this clock that Bondek can walk out, as you guys can see. He's going to need, his knife name, he's going to need a lot of it. A lot of hope.
What was it? I didn't see it.
Hope. Exactly.
Well,
That's just unfortunate. Well, nice nade, but this is still Bondek. He can still hit a headshot. 18 seconds left, and he's not going to do it. Devil will find the kill. But there was definitely a chance there for FlipSid. Hard eco as well, man. You weren't kidding. I mean, you weren't wrong. They had only invested in deagles and P250s pretty much that round. FlipSid, that was fantastic work from them.
yeah, it's going to be a buyout now from FlipSid because they know the economy on the CT side is low due off the back of that good round. Kenny does have an AWP, but he has no armor behind it, only 1 flashbang as well. So a little bit of success, or a lot of success there in that second round from FlipSid. Now they're going to put the pressure on, see if they can break the money of this defense early on. Looking good. They have plenty of utility to use as well, and at the moment just kind of spreading out from the default. Apex spots one out, and there's Kenny. Cleans it up. World Edit does fall early.
Yeah, nicely done there. That tag certainly helping things there for Kenny. Blade, he's going to try and get that flash out, but Kenny's still holding the line. Definitely knows. Misses the flick, though. And without the Kevlar, he's got to back off. A bit of a dangerous situation there, so he's going to change up his positioning. Happy then comes in to take over window. Markelov is waiting for him, but the smoke goes down. It's a bit of a decision, yeah, exactly, for Markelov. Does he want to give away his position? How does he want to play it?
He knows one's in window, so he actually Molotovs him out. And with the smoke in the window, he could have actually gone up connector a little bit if he wanted to be aggressive. But he's going to allow Happy to just kind of fall down, makes no progress, and right through the smoke. Happy. That's brutal. Markelov's like, I did everything right. You're covered off completely, and you're still going to get the kill.
And now it's Shara. I mean, basically this series of duels. Nice shot there onto Apex, who just has a challenge from Sandwich, so that pretty much opens things up here on the A site. Now Bondek can start applying some pressure because he doesn't have to worry about that position. It's all going to be about this A site hit, though, and Devil is just holding his own. 1-for-1 trade there, decides to swing out, and he gets picked off. But it's down to Blade and Shara, he's already taking quite a bit of damage here. So EnVyUs with the man advantage, they should be able to lock this down. And there's NBK, and NBK actually with the double, he robs Happy in the end.
Yeah, and I mean, more importantly, they survive with 3 players, so they do get to build up some money. They have that AWP still on Kenny, so he can get some armor behind it, be a little bit more aggressive. It's going to be a save out of FlipSid. Only 3 rounds of a bonus building up, and yeah, Markelov here. Maybe some.
Yeah,
I don't think he's some.
because sometimes when you have the overlapping smokes,
Yeah.
you can sometimes see what's going on the other before the second smoke clears up, or before the first smoke clears up, rather.
That did seem very precise.
Yeah,
where
that was like,
aim.
he just adjusted his aim and got that dead on, so that's what I'm thinking as well. Ooh, scary situation for Kenny, but he's going to be able to back off. Only P250s bought up here for FlipSid. Another round of eco for them, and Happy, he's going to start things off strong by taking out Blade. Kenny still willing to challenge in window, no problem. And Markelov through the underpass is just not going to get anything done. So this should be a very clean-cut, straightforward round here for Envy. And it's going to leave FlipSid wondering what they need to do here in the next round when they can actually afford some rifles. Apex, he's not having the best match, or at least a start to it. I think he's only got a single kill right now. Yeah. He just keeps getting caught out.
Should say, while we're on that note, I mean, this 4 rounds for Envy is going to be largely off the back of Devil, the new pickup. That second round, he had 3 kills in it. The following round after that, he saves the day with another 3 kills, really stabilizing on that 8 bomb site when they were taking so much fire. So he's what's allowed them to kind of swing up, swell their win count to 4. And Bondek is just going to try and get a little bit creative. He's only got a P250, so his only chance here is to really kind of surprise someone, get a kill that way. But I mean, Envy's playing so passive. They're far away from the bomb. They're playing at the A site. NBK is up middle. Bondek really doesn't have a lot of options open to him.
No, it's not going to be clean.
Unless it almost looks like Envy have completely forgotten that it's possible for Bondek to get here towards mid. No one's actually peeking this way. Kenny is out in the open. Free kill for Bondek. So there's some miscommunication. Now, Happy does clean it up, but 1 death they didn't need to take.
Oh, that's actually really puzzling. You're right. Because they had, like, what, 2 people watching pit?
Yeah, they had like 2 people, yeah, and then no one watching mid. NBK was at the top of it, but he was peering out towards like the B tunnels, towards that wraparound. So A little bit of a mistake.
Kenny, yeah. It's a bit.
So now Kenny inside the window. Smoked off again. He got a kill from here last time, combined with Apex doing some early damage, but now he's just got knocked out towards Cat. He misses another shot, though. It's a little bit uncharacteristic, the opping we've seen out of Kenny early on.
Oh, but Devil, at least he trades 1 for 1. That sets it up nicely here for Apex. And this is going to be a change of pace. Apex not going to win his duel, but Kenny's there to hold the line. And Happy, he brings it into a man advantage now, and Shara gives away his position. Happy's able to go for the 180 and actually pick up that kill. If Shara could have just held, the trigger, basically just making sure that he has the trigger discipline to guarantee the kill rather than just hoping for the lucky shot that ends up costing him his life. No, well, Kenny might get really frustrated here.
I was going to say the second time in a row, Kenny's just going to be a free kill. So World Edit does find him. Now he can pick up an op as well. And he's got his opponents at range. NBK and Catwalk Happy towards jungle. So, I mean, if he can find one of these kills, turn it into a one-on-one, that'd be pretty nice.
This is all about Happy. There's the flash, and yeah, he's making the jump, and he doesn't get the kill. Big spray from Happy. MBK's there to make sure that things, go back their way, but what was that from Happy? Talk about uncharacteristic. That was huge. That was a free kill.
Yeah, he misses a lot of shots there. A good recovery by World Edit as well, just jumping in the air and spinning, coming out of being blind. Either way, 5-1 for Envy. Still, their money is not great. They haven't been able to build up too much. It's only Happy who has anything. 3,400. Devil's at 2K, so that's not too bad. But still, Flipside's able to apply some pressure with the economic situation as it is. Winning one round can reset the money for Envy.
Kenny, again, going to abuse that gap in the smoke. It's not perfect. Spots the man, gets the flick, but he's not going to land the shot. Can he actually catch somebody? Exactly, because if World Edit actually tries to hop up there, it could get nasty for him. But the second man is going to make his way out. And actually, Kenny right now does not know that there are 2 players at top mid, so maybe this information works out for him, but that fresh smoke going down is going to force him out. And Apex, I mean, does he get any support? Kenny has a single flash, so he could try and set up this pit push if he wants. But it's going to be Apex. He just decides to go in on his own, and not sure if that worked. Yeah, I guess it did. Shara blind, but Markov on the board finally. Wins the duel versus Devil.
Yeah, Happy is going to get another one as well. Kenny's got one blocked in towards Palace, but he's got to be very careful. There's a lot of Flipside members, or 2, in this connector. So he's in a very, very exposed position. That flashbang comes out, blinds one, so now he's got him pinned down. He sees just barely the shoulder of Blade. Oh, and a second one. There it is. A little bit of vintage Kenny coming alive a bit here.
I was going to say for a moment there, Kenny's missing some shots. What's going on here? These are usually shots that he gets, every time. And then he just has to go and, blow somebody away and connect it like that.
Then he makes you believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one's sick. Nicely done by Kenny. 6-1 though right now for EnVyUs, man. They after that little bump in the road.
Pissed around.
Yeah, they've just taken control of everything. And this is, I mean, Flipside right now are not doing too hot in the league. I mean, they haven't played too many matches. They actually haven't played that many matches, so that's why they're sitting so low. But
they're what, 0-2?
0-2, yeah. So I mean, it's still fairly early on for them, but a win versus Envy would be huge, and especially considering Envy are maybe, just a little weak right now because of the roster change. I think that Flipside right now might be a little frustrated considering that. They're probably thinking, okay, well, this is our chance, right? Take down one of the bigger opponents.
That's not going too well for him at the moment, although they do fight NBK. Now they have at least a plant into this bomb site, but still shouldn't have any trouble. Envy shouldn't have any trouble winning this one out. Shara's going to find one more kill. Kenny trades it off. He's really had an impact a lot lately into these rounds.
How do they keep surviving? All right, Happy style a nade onto Bondic in the end. But Apex with a little bit of a missed chance there. I think that was Happy on short, also missing a big spray. Just not getting the kills, just dropping people low.
Here's one problem too. Flipside's actually doing this tactically. It's okay. They're getting mid control. It's just once they have it, once they have those smokes up, once they have 2 members at the top of mid behind those boxes, it's like you have to figure out where you can leverage that control to make some kind of an impact on the round. And when they move forward to get the engagements after having mid control, I mean they're just getting bodied. That's where the skill of Envy these players is really shining, because they can't find anywhere to go from that kind of mid control of the map. Not finding too many picks that are going to allow them to work around to a new bomb site to kind of spread the defense thin.
And again, due to the aggressive smoke, is he actually going to find the angle here, Apex? He's hoping that Bondic gets impatient, but so far Bondic playing this very patiently. Oh, wait. Did he not use his own smoke? Huh. Well, just nades all over the place, really. And Happy will take out Shara. That's in mid. World Edit, though. He's there with his AWP. He removes Happy from the map. So 1-for-1 trade so far. Smoke goes down into window again to block things off. And they could try and apply the pressure to the B site right now. But they've actually, again, they're in mid. This time, at least, they have a pick to go off of.
Yeah, and actually now they have plenty of space as well. They have catwalk control. NBK and Kenny have been forced back into the bomb site. They have that AWP and World Edit, so he can be the one to kind of open things up even more. Apex is very isolated. Devil's the one on the rotation who's kind of got to figure things out of where he wants to go to, and he's going to wrap around through CT spawn to get to those stairs. But still, a little bit confusing, EnVyUs, as they have no intel as to where FlipSide's going. They've kind of stalled this out with this mid control.
Yeah, all right. Devil and CT, I mean, now it's actually, Envy should be fine. They've got 3 players, you know, close to this A site. Kenny's holding pretty far back. Apex, again, his string of bad luck just continues, but Kenny's going to rotate over into CT, and that's where the pressure is going to be applied here, because they do have a man moving up on short. That's NBK getting eyes through connector, trying to see if he can spot anybody out. Devil steps up, though. Big kills from him, too, before Bondic and Blade can bring it back under control, and that puts it down into just NBK being alive here in a 1v2. And when Envy, they actually looked like they had the situation, you know, under control. Had Devil been able to pick up the second kill immediately with the spray, that would have been huge. But now with only 4 HP versus Blade, who has full HP, he needs to hit the headshot here, NBK, and he nearly does it. Incredible. Big spray, and now Blade, it's a bit of a tough spot for him because the bomb is not planted for him. All he can hope to do really is just keep NBK off of this. But NBK's got a kit, so he can really try to apply the pressure, and there it is. Instantly peeks out. Blade, because of the bomb plant, like the bomb plant defeats Blade in the end. It isn't even NBK.
Yeah, and he actually even makes the ballsy decision not to peek on that first fake defuse. I mean, tries to hold it. I mean, tries to make sure NBK is going to get off that bomb. It's just the extra bomb timer as well. That's so long to have to freeze out your opponent. So long you're essentially playing chicken with one other person. It eventually falls in the end. So nicely done. 12 kills for Devil. Looking good. He's tied with Bondic on the other team, 12 and 8, but no one for FlipSide is really showing up behind Bondic.
What do you make of it? What do you make of it? And again, Kenny straight to the window. He's not really... This is interesting, though, from Kenny. He's not really trying to change up his positioning a la Guardian, right? Where he takes the op into connector, takes it into underpass, goes, you know, just camps window. Like, Guardian is very difficult to predict with the AWP. Kenny right now really kind of focusing on that mid-map, not really being too different in how he's setting up, at least at the beginning of the round. There's the flash and the kill. Markelov, perfect team play there coming in from FlipSide. The 1-2 setup, and he gets the second kill onto Devil. It's just spinning out of control here. Unless Apex can bring it back under, it's just not going to happen. Bondic catches him out. And Happy again with the spray. Happy, he was expressing some some frustration yesterday after their matches, saying, you know, like, I wish I had more of an impact.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if that frustration, you know, it's really starting to, you know, spill over into his performance here.
Yeah, I did see that tweet. Looking like he's going to be a little bit frustrated again. I mean, that's the second time against World Edit, specifically with an AWP. He's had trouble closing it out the kill. So now just NBK. I mean, there's no real chance of him winning this, so he's just going to go for some exit kills at the end, and he spots out one. That's Markelov, and he can't win that battle either. So Markelov gets 3 into the round. And finally now, after 8 in a row, this is looking like Envy might buy into this just because they want to reset the money, but Happy and Kenny are the only ones with any kind of real economy. Everyone else is sitting around 2,000, 2,500-ish.
Yeah, they're just dropping. I mean, Kenny's got his AWP guaranteed. So I'm wondering, you know, it's almost like a double eco scenario, really. It's kind of nasty. Look at 1,900. It's all going to come down to the kills here.
Do we really think Envy's going to double eco?
No. But there's always a first time. There's always a first time. And,
well, not if they win it.
That was pretty sick. That was less sick. Apex is definitely having a little trouble here on this map. He's not his usual crisp self. Instead, it's Devil who just keeps, you know, coming through here for Envy. Kenny just goes charging up. He got spotted, though. He's not going to be able to adjust in time, but we still have a man crouching in shadow right now that's Happy. He's got 4 HP, sure. Question is whether he can actually pull this off, because he's trying to use the smoke against them.
I think that was his smoke that extinguished the Molotov as well, so they more than likely know he's here with him being so low, but no one's actually clearing it. He gets a free kill. He's going to get a second one through the smoke. He does find it. Now it's on a Markelov. Low HP battle, and he's on top of the ladder, trying to be a little bit creative. Markelov's got to punish it, though. 10 HP, but so close for Envy.
How did he not get the kill there? Happy, and NBK as well. That was, I mean, Markelov, he had a real slow start to this, but he's waking up all of a sudden. 7 kills for him in like the space of 3 rounds or something.
Yeah.
So that's not too shabby. Markelov, he's definitely coming through here for FlipSid. 3 rounds on the board now for FlipSid, and there's the 4 spy, sure enough. Envy, it's actually a pretty healthy one, all things considered. They actually have a good nade count going into this.
Yeah, the only thing they don't have is a kit, which might turn out to be an issue. But either way, Kenny's got his AWP. Now he's switched up his position, like you said, gone around towards Catwalk, not in that window. So he's not going to be initially smoked off, and that off angle might catch FlipSid off guard.
He hasn't played it yet, so, you know, if World Edit comes in here, World Edit has been peeking Delpan, but is he going to expect to peek into an AWP? That's the question here. Not spotting Kenny in mid and playing it a bit ballsy. They didn't go for the short smoke, it looks like, initially.
And there's that opening kill. He is ready for that from Kenny. So World Edit finds that, wins the opening duel of this round. And now, once again, it's back to this mid control they've had essentially this whole half, but now they have a pick on top of it. It's not an even man situation. So now they could be a little bit playful on where they want to go from here. Smokes all around the map, though. That's going to slow him down initially. Devil finds another kill. He's being so active. He eventually does get taken out by Bondic, and Happy holds strong. The no-scope on Ashara. Flashbang.
Nobody saw that, Happy. Rush tried to save you. He went to World Edit first, or he went to Blade. It's like, no, nothing happening here. Nope, flat, nope. That was, that's always heartbreaking, man. You know, that's the kind of nade that I would throw. So I feel you, Happy, I feel you.
Well, the worst part about it is, like, that's a nade that if that works, it's actually really, really effective. So you're in your head, you're like, oh, this is going to be so sick. I'm about to wreck house. Save the day for my team. I'm going to get a frag clip up on the internet. NBK wins 1 duel, but now he's smoked off again.
He wasn't too far off that spray onto a site. Only problem here is just Bondic. Like, as soon as NBK tries to push anywhere, he's gonna get just railed. So now it's gonna be NBK kind of hoping to get lucky with the angle. Not sure if he tagged World Edit there, but he will spot him. He drops him down. Dude, they just cannot kill these guys. How many times have they survived with like 6 HP on FlipSid?
Yeah, really unfortunate on the Envy side, and now they're going to be back onto a save. So all of a sudden, while this was a beatdown for the beginning of this match, FlipSid finally breaking the economy, and now they can be back on top. They have control of this match. And we are going to get a replay of this flashbang just to make Happy sad. Oh, it sucks.
Yeah, we went to Bondic. Got to give it to Bondic, though, man. He's stepped up for FlipSid. Even with FlipSid trailing behind, he's up there in the high double digits right now. He's leading the frag. 17 for him. And then Kenny's just like, Devil, get wrecked. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show.
Blade gets another kill onto Kenny. And now it's, I mean, Apex is pushing up into Palace. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to find Bondic. Actually, Bondic's going to stick around. So Apex may be able to find out if the timing is right. Other than that, NBK's got Markelov. That looks like that's an underpass, though. So actually, they're just going to walk up connector, and it's going to be all around Happy to rotate back and find something. NBK trying to do this towards connector. Oh, he actually lands a shot right through the smoke. Molotov's going to force him back into window, though. Nothing more he can do. Apex is on a small flank. They're not going to expect this whatsoever. He could open things up. Still, tough situation. They spot him out just as the plant goes down, but he gets the kill anyways. Can't get the second. Happy's going to come in. There it is, the 5-7. Gets cleaned out by Bondic.
Yeah, they get 2 kills out of it, Envy. So, I mean, as far as like a pretty hard eco goes, it's not too shabby. You're still making it a little bit more expensive for FlipSid, but now we're getting into the basically the last 2 rounds of the half, so the economy isn't really that important for FlipSid. They're going to be able to buy in the next round regardless of the outcome of this one. Yeah, it's all pressure on Envy at this point to figure out how to lock down the remaining 2 rounds, because I think they desperately need 10-5. Not really going to be too excited about that NBT side, especially with the new player. And there we go. They finally decided to go for the big power play. Apex with the double spray down at top mid. All of that off a flash from Kenny. That was sick play. That's exactly what Apex is waiting for. You know, this passive stuff doesn't work for Apex, man. He's like a werewolf, you know? It's a full moon. He needs to get out there. He needs blood. You can't keep him chained up, you know? Can't keep him, you know, in one of those magical star circles. With like wind chimes and crystals.
Silver.
Exactly, no. He needs to roam. Be that French loup-garou.
All right, I don't even know what that is, but we're going to go with it. Kenny's going to be in the window still spotting for things. Apex has fallen back, so he's transformed back into a man. Going to be a little bit passive here.
It's only temporary.
It's only temporary. I would love to see it again. I mean, he's just hiding in a closet. He's just chilling, waiting for his moment.
You know, he's gone back to his den where he's comfortable, taking a nap. It's fine. I don't even. Okay. 3 players surviving here for FlipSid, and yeah, we're waiting to see as Bondic takes a few bullets to the face, so he's not going to be too pleased about that. And oh, look at this from Blade. Nice angle. He's going to catch out Kenny. So there we go. FlipSid, they're finding ways to make it work. Cheeky little position, set up there for Happy, actually boosted up on the boxes. So this might get a little nasty for Markloff, who's going to be coming out from B Apartments. And the question is, do they check it? Oh, Happy. Happy, what is... Happy just all over the place, feeling the pressure there. 10 seconds left, and, well, Devil's going to be able to bring it back. So now a man advantage for Envy going into this bomb plant situation. And boom, Apex comes out of nowhere. Rips out Markloff's throat.
Yeah, covered in the shadows.
It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess. But you know what? That's what the new guy's for, right? He's going to go over to Devil, hand him that, that mop and bucket, get to work. Greenhorn.
Poor guy's been, a powder monkey. Now he's a little bit of a janitor, cleaning things up.
This is how it works, man. I bet if they're trading at the house, it's going to be that. It's going to be time for that, that espresso, because the French, it's all about that coffee in the afternoon. Devil's going to show up with the tray. Monsieur?
I need an espresso. Where's Devil?
2 sugars?
That's when you make the trip up the stairs to go get Devil to go make you the espresso, and you're right next to the machine. It's about the principle of the matter. Either way, now 9-5. Op is back in World Edit's hands. Kenny S also has his towards Windows again. And this is just that standard setup from Envy. NBK gets positioned in that B bomb site. Apex is playing close to the smoke on A-ramp, and Kenny is just biding his time patiently. He's even spotting underneath. No smoke yet to block him off. This could just be a jump across from Shara to give World Edit the shot.
Mm-hmm. Is that bait, or it's just going to be the full-on peek?
Yeah, Kenny
what?
Returns for that shoulder peek and just gets punished for it. Yeah, but you're right, Shara. I mean, I thought he was going to jump to cause it. He just kind of walks out, and he's very, very fortunate that Kenny missed that shot. Everyone on Envy right now seems, their image just seems to be a little bit not as crisp as we're used to seeing. Happy now with the AWP. Can't flick down quick enough. That'd be Blade or Shara baiting out that shot.
Yeah, I am, just a little bit surprised by some of these shots that EnVyUs are missing. That's for sure. It's not the standard stuff that Apex there. Feels like that should have been dead on. He had the angle. He had the crosshair placement.
Well, that one landed. Nice shot on Happy, or nice shot from Happy on MBK. I bet it was a pretty sick shot. We didn't catch it, but it was dirty.
Must have been one of those flicks where he's just wired so tight. He sees movement, he strikes out, and then he sees, no, it was my friend. No. You have to explain to NBK's wife now why the dad isn't coming home. Happy, you monster.
Just took this into a really dark place. It just got dark so quick. Turn the lights back on.
Well, sometimes, Happy's that kind of guy. Thank you for, specifying who's actually commentating this game. Definitely want to be known for this map. What we're saying.
So livid infamy. Either way, FlipSid, it was so grim for a while. It was, 8-1 when they finally won their second round, and then they just kind of ran it back. So it actually ends out to be a really good terrorist half out of them. That's good stuff.
What happened to NBK's knife? Go to NBK, Rush. NBK, show us your knife. And
He's not on comms with us, so he's
not going to unsheath the knife. Is he one of those guys, if people are watching, he can't go?
Performance issues.
What's up with this, NBK? Come on.
Swear to God, this has never happened.
There we go. What happened to his knife? He's using a default knife. Did he gamble? Did he lose it?
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be a common issue these days.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, actually. It's like...
Right back to performance issues, you'd be surprised, but it happens to 40% of all professional Counter-Strike players.
They happen to just, lose their skins on CSGO Jackpot. And unlike the streamers, they don't get their skins for free. They don't get the bet with house money. Boom. All right. So curious as to what the holdup is right now. NBK just seems to be hopping around, so I don't think there's a whole lot of conversation happening over on the Frenchie side. Instead, it's probably FlipSid. Maybe somebody had to use the restroom. Blade.
Yeah, Blade's not moving whatsoever.
Yeah, so.
Oh, he's back.
All right, we should be getting live with the second half here in a moment. So, guys, welcome to the stream. This is our first match of the night between FlipSid Tactics and EnVyUs. If you're just tuning in, it's the ESL Pro League, and we're getting into the second half now. FlipSid, if they can win. I mean, they did a pretty damn good job in the first round, in the first pistol round. So, on their T side, so we have to see if they're going to be capable of putting on a show here in the CT side. And what is that? Shara goes for an incendiary in the pistol. Interesting choice.
Where's he going to be playing? Over towards the B bomb site, it looks like.
I dig it. You put that up in the B apartments, right? If they're just going to YOLO rush, Incendiary could mess everything up here for Envy.
Yep, that might be it. And actually, it's a good spot for it as well. He's actually just going to have... Markelov is going to be spotting for this, and as soon as Markelov sees someone, that Molotov's going to come out and slow things down. This is actually going to be huge, because these flashbangs that Envy's throwing could do a lot of damage. Look at World Edit even.
And the smokes as well. Like, this is Envy's execute. Oh, wow.
Oh, no. There
That's
it
right.
is.
Sit down. NBK, time for a dirt nap. Flashes go out. Absolutely useless. Now where's that Incendiary? It's going to get in here. It's about to get toasty, and they're going to be burning alive. Look at that Apex. He's taking so much damage. He's low. He's stuck behind the truck, and Happy can't really do too much to help him either. That bomb, it will get picked up eventually. Happy trying to fight back, but it's just not meant to be. It's not going to happen, and it's nearly going to be that perfect round. Happy, of course, has to ruin the party, but 4 players survive at the end for FlipSid, and it is going to be that 7-9 score.
That was sick. World Edit so aggressive up mid. So incredibly quickly as well. NBK didn't even realize that happened, and which is interesting because Envy puts 4 players in those apartments. You'd think they'd be able to spot out any kind of that aggression, so it was some kind of timing push that works out where their Envy had no eyes on it. I was a little bit worried though because that Molotov actually, Shara had a flashbang out first, so he throws a flashbang first, and I was just like, well, they're already going to be past the Molotov.
But where was the molly?
Like, it came in
the
late.
Flash,
Yeah, it came in late.
but it took like way long to actually throw that Incendiary in there.
Yep.
So
That's why it was a little bit worrying. They're actually very fortunate that Markelov gets those 2 headshots because those first 2 players were not going to be stopped by the Molotov whatsoever. They almost had an opportunity to overrun that bomb site if Markelov doesn't hit those incredible shots.
Yeah, Markelov, he had a slow start to the map, but he's definitely woken up. And so this is going to be the force buy out of Envy. They aren't wasting any time. They aren't messing around. NBK, he's got that smoke. He's going to be sailing right on into window. Beautiful. Right on the money. That was also nearly on the money. Somehow Apex dodges a lot of the damage there. I thought that he was about to have an HE sandwich. But instead, it is going to be Markelov. Mad spray from him. Spots the man going up connector as well. Good info, and he still gets the kill onto Apex. And this is just a no-fear, full YOLO approach here to the A side for Envy. Just charging in there, but they're getting picked off one at a time. Headshot onto World Edit, but he doesn't need a peek anymore. Blade is there to get the kill. And Bondic just tapping away to NBK.
Yeah, and there's really not too much to do here. Unless this Deagle comes alive for Happy, but he's brought down so low. He can't even really peek too much more. And NBK, he's going to fall to World Edit. All that's left there is Happy. The flashbangs actually did good work, but no smokes to kind of cross those big chunks of the map. So Envy's just, FlipSide's just allowed to sit back with those upgraded the SMGs, the UMP and the M4s, and just kind of, take their time.
Yeah, it doesn't pan out. This is where Envy are really going to start feeling the pressure because their CT side, it wasn't, an outstanding CT side. They still have a lot of work to do on this T side. And well, with the roster changing positions perhaps, they're going to have to figure out how to break this FlipSid momentum that's starting to develop here. Because FlipSide, they're going to be feeling good. They got the start they were looking for. World Edit, he's got the Deeg, but they've already shown that they can use it. And well, there we go. Straight up YOLO play onto the A site now to get that bomb down, and it looks like they'll be successful because Bondic, he's playing it very safely. And how in the world Kenny gets the headshot as well? So a bomb plant and a kill? I'm amazed.
Yeah, that was maybe he just in the action of the round he just didn't hear the plant start going down, but you'd think he would have been a little bit more aggressive. He might have also just done like a small shoulder peek to peek it really shallow so he doesn't commit to a fight. And that bomb was actually planted, just a little bit off from the default, so maybe he just didn't spot it.
Wasn't there an issue actually yesterday, like Luminosity saying they couldn't hear bomb plants?
Could
that
not know.
That couldn't possibly be it.
I don't think so.
I think there was a tweet coming out. I can't remember if it was FNX or...
They had some issues in their match all on their own without bomb plants being involved.
Come on. They were too busy playing with those new iPads, right?
Yeah.
See, just didn't focus up. No, you're not supposed to...
Playing Angry Birds.
Well, actually, no. I know why they got the iPads. They're deciding to give Fallen a break, right? So they're all using that strat roulette or whatever. There you go. So Fallen's just like, okay, guys, hit the button now. They're all like, gotcha, B-split, go.
I've actually never used that. I imagine that'd be fun.
I really want to use that one day. And like, if we get a stack of caster stack together, we're just gonna be like, all right, strat roulette time.
I love it. That would be great. Markelov, he's going to have the first opportunity here. Envy has made their way up catwalk. Kenny, Markelov actually gives up his position, and Kenny on the fallback had a shot to take him out, but now just encroaching up connector through the smoke. It's just going to be a pop flash. Bondic is blind, but Spill sprays down one. NBK trades that off, so the bomb site is open. A little bit of a misrotation from FlipSid gives him the A bomb site for very easy.
And he misses the shot. Perfect flash on the World Edit. Devil catches out Blade. Blade had the UMP though, so it wasn't ideal for him. Now man advantage, making it 2-man advantage as Happy peeks out on the stairs, and Markelov loses his duel versus Kenny. So 10 rounds here for Envy, and they actually succeed in a pretty slick play. Straight up through connector, no fear.
Yeah, that was really cool. I mean, we've seen Envy do that in the past as well. It's pretty much like, it's kind of been like their bread and butter at times, is these big like multi-body executions through smokes, just surprise the opponents with like the last thing they'd be expecting. And Bondic, it almost looked like he's watching for it, but he's not prepared for that flashbang to just hit him full in the face. So only 1 kill for him now. World Edit slowly going to try and grab this angle. Very cautiously that there could be an opposing opera there. Could be Kenny. But actually 2 just kind of slip underneath his crosshair. So he's got to be careful. Falls back. Doesn't put the smoke out though. That flashbang actually helps Envy a lot. Gives him a window, and a missed shot gives him an even bigger window. And now they swing around the bomb site. Apex gets 2. Bondic's not prepared for it. And a 3rd for Apex.
Whoa, huge performance from Apex. And Happy on the lurk as usual. Markelov not making any noise. Probably aware that somebody's going to be pushing around here. You kind of wish that Shara had the same thought. Markelov was like, I'll remember you, Shara.
Sorry. Sorry.
Your memory lives on.
Sorry for not watching. Kenny just executes him long range. 11-9 now. So once again, the start of these gun rounds all goes in the favor of Envy. And now the money is gone for FlipSid. They're going to have some upgraded pistols if they'd like, maybe a few utility nades, flashes for some kind of a trick play, or smokes to kind of slow things down. But outside of that, they won't have much. So Envy with it, obviously a massive advantage in this. And actually doesn't even look like there's going to be any kind of a stat coming out for FlipSid. Bondic and Blade are going to be at the A bomb site. World Edit's going to be towards window. Yeah, it's just pretty much a default setup. And actually, that's a very aggressive wide peak.
Whoever was really stepped out there. I think that it's just like a matter of not wasting time. Just, you know, run into him, see if we can get a kill. Because that was very brave. Again, well, Kenny missing shots, though.
Yeah, it did seem like they wanted to do some kind of crunch on the middle portion of the map, and he was just very, very far ahead of everyone else. So
good presence of mind there from Devil to manage the guns, though. So they don't have to worry about mid. They can leave it now. They don't have to babysit that AK. Just throw it away to make sure nobody from FlipSid can get in here to use it. Now.
Uh-oh.
Bondic. Peekaboo.
6 around as well. Going to go back for more.
Oh, he's brave, man. He has no fear. Now World Edit's going to be pushing into mid as well. Unfortunately for him, the man has worked his way in behind him on short, and yeah, he's not really going to achieve too much. World Edit, yeah, he's actually looking for that AK. But Devil, he was 1 step ahead. No free guns.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Sucks for World Edit, but either way, down to Bondic. Last one left in NBK. He's going to be spotting this, and actually a little bit slow in the reaction, but still manages the spray. Almost falls. Down to 15. 12-9 now. And FlipSid's going to get right back into this, but they're not going to have an AWP to work with.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, Envy, they're just slowly constricting the grip that they have on the FlipSid economy.
Yeah.
This is not a super big buy here for FlipSid. They have 1 kit on Markelov, but the nades are kind of light. They had to skimp on the helmets as well. I mean, it's not ideal. It's not the best buy. So if Envy win this round, I mean, they're just going to have full control of the FlipSid economy throughout the rest of this half.
And Envy looks like they've already decided they know where they want to go. They want to eventually hit this A bomb site. 3 members here. Apex is joining up with them. Happy is coming through the underpass, so he's going to be ready to go up connector when they execute. A little bit of a lurk. Either, you know, if they have success, he can stay in mid and cut off rotations. If they, you know, get bogged down a little bit, he can try and get up connector and help them out. Get maybe 1 kill that might alleviate the pressure, but Markelov is going to be there watching. And here comes Apex. First one up, completely blind. Smokes out. There is one underneath the balcony. They haven't spotted him out quite yet, and they're ignoring everyone. They're just coming towards connector, making sure they clear everything out. But there's Blade on top of the boxes. Gets that first kill, and Bondic is still very much alive.
Blade is doing a fantastic job. Bondic with the back shot onto Kenny. That's the bomb dropped on the site, and now Blade is waiting for somebody to come around the corner, and there we go. Devil, he gets traded. They'll take that any day of the week. FlipSid now, they've got control. They do know that Happy is close in the connector, though, and, well, they definitely know now.
Oh, that's brutal backstab. What a lurk from Happy. He's got 3 kills in the round so far, and Markelov has got to be wondering how that occurred, and Happy's even ready for that one. 4 kills for him. A beautiful round.
No idea how that worked out. That's a huge round for Happy because he was playing connector right from the start, and he caught out the first man. Can't remember if it was Shara or who it was that came up connector. No, it wasn't Shara, obviously, because he died in CT, right? So maybe World Edit maybe
Had to have
Bond.
been World Edit because Bondic and Blade were in the site.
So yeah, exactly. There we go. Process of elimination. It's a magical thing.
Yeah.
So just nice start from Happy basically in that round, holding on to connector, making sure that the flank just couldn't come right through. And while they continue the pressure here, to apply the pressure that is, Apex with the double entry, just trying to farm up on those eco frags. And he gets another 3, so he's feeling pretty comfortable at this point himself.
Yeah, and you said Envy was starting to constrict their control over the economy. Well, that's not going to be an option for them into the next round. Full losing bonus for Envy. They do have a massive lead, but FlipSide's going to be able to get anything they could want. All the utility, all the armor, kits, they're going to be able to opt with full utility behind it as well. So the money situation is finally evened out. The only issue is it's so late now in the game for FlipSide. Envy's already up towards 14. Look at the money they have built up. Kenny with 13,000, Happy with 12,000.
So here's the next level strat for you, Moses. This is how you know the true pros do it, right?
All right.
Envy, they let it get down into a 1v1 clutch situation this round, lose it, and then just, you know, wipe FlipSide out in the next.
Yeah.
See? There you go.
Or Kenny just drills World Edit in the face.
Apex.
Apex. Oh my lord, what?
What was that? I know, I had to look too. I was like, wait a second. Okay, then Apex decides, you know, a bit of a role change for himself. It's all the raids these days.
Was it? I mean, it had to have just been because he had the spawn. Yeah, because they give it right back towards Kenny. Now the B hit is on. One member in the site gets pushed back by a flashbang. And there's Apex again with a whole new gun. Goes for more. He's going to push Markelon back. NBK gets that kill.
NBK nearly gets dropped, but then the leg shot comes in. Dude, they are just like powering through this. No fear at all here from Envy. Happy with the lurk in mid. Will get caught, so now they have a way out of the situation here for FlipSide. Exactly. Blade making his way back into window to save World Edit's AWP. And Bonnick has picked up an AK for himself, but now it's all just about get on the other side of the map, cross your fingers, and hope that Envy aren't going to be too sharp on the hunt.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely going to hunt with all the money that they have. There's no reason for, say, Apex not to, has 100 HP, and just go for it. But
I'm kind of curious. They aren't moving, right? What's going on, Envy?
This might just be like a product of that phase match, that fateful phase match where they let the defuse happen, that no one wants to leave the bomb set anymore. They're like, all right, everyone be extra cautious for the moment. Bondick's at least going to get found out. He gets the first kill, but now they're encroaching upon him very quickly. That's Kenny. Flashbang's not going to do too. Actually, it blinds Apex completely. Kenny doesn't peek initially, but he does eventually get that kill, and that's not bad for Envy to lose 2 players to Bondick as long as they get that AK out of him, because that's just going to be a weaker buy for them. They do save the AWP, which is huge, but now FlipSide, no more mistakes to give. They have to go on a miraculous run here for 6 straight.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Markloff doesn't even have any utility to go with this M4A1 and Kevlar. Char is fairly low himself. World Edit, he's the best off because he gets to drop that AWP. He can go for full utility, but this is really tough here for FlipSide now. Envious on match point. And NBK not going to waste any time at all. There's the flash. And at least they know they force so much utility out with just that one play. Shara just chucks everything.
The nerves, man. Last round, don't want to lose the match. Just make sure you don't get beaten up. So, yeah, it's a lot of really good, and that's the thing. Envy can now use that kind of a play to just kind of bully their way into these sites, to bully their way into map control. Even, I don't think they spotted Blade, but they did spam him down a little bit. Molotov is going to force him out. He's actually burning in it. 20 HP, somehow survives. If he catches one of those, he's a dead man, but the flashbang works, and now he can run away. But still, again, a lot of utility used. Finally, Bondick's able to find a kill. That was towards Palace. Happy trying to be an aggressive lurk. He gets taken down, but still, there's not a lot of tools left for FlipSide to use.
No, it's Apex instead who's going to try and draw attention to himself over here on the A site, and he's found the one angle. Nice shot there onto Bondick. That's going to keep everybody honest here. And he might actually try and continue to press forward on this, or at least just camp out on the other side of this connector smoke, because the push has begun on the B site, and Devil finds a headshot onto Markloff immediately. Shara, he's the only man alive. He's burning alive. He drops down to 20 HP, and Kenny's there to assassinate him. Another kill coming in for Kenny on the rotator. That's Blade down. And now it's just Bondick and World Edit, last 2 alive here in a 2v3 retake. And the shot, and Kenny somehow misses that. Thought that he had it for sure. That looked so calm and collected.
Yeah, it did look good initially. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out for him. 2-on-2 though, and Bondick's low on HP. Apex just waiting. Nice pop flash. Bondick gets caught full on, and now World Edit got to do something insane. Can't even get out of the window at the moment. Trying to pick one off, peeking towards him, but Envy's not going to drop this one. And Apex finds it in the end. So, got a little bit rocky there in the middle stretches when FlipSide made that comeback on the T side, but I mean, Envy just kind of holds on.
No, they made it look easy as well. It never really looked like they lost control of the situation. Yeah. Apart from losing the pistol round, okay, you're like, yeah, getting fired up, right? FlipSide, woo! And then Envy were just like, nah, bro.
No. Sorry.
Just sorry. It's not happening. We need to get work done tonight. I mean, they had a bit of a rough night last night, Envy, so you know that they just don't want that to happen again. They definitely shut it down here.
Can happen again because I mean they're tied. Well, now they're 5-4, but going in tonight they were 4-4, and then Navi's 4-4, and I think G2 is now 4-4, and G2 has 2 wins over Envy. So yeah, they definitely have to pick their game up to get out of that tiebreaker situation immediately as quick as possible.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and throw it over to the analysts now, guys. They can break down the maps, all the little subtleties, the nitty-gritty info. You're about to get it from Lee, Pansy, and Vendetta.
Wow, the build-up on that, the hype. Yeah, let's get straight down to it. Devil, impressive performance, played the Keo position on CT side and played it like a solid rock, no doubt about it. It was brilliant there. Poor old Bondic gets 31 kills, and he's just like, guys, come on, give me something here.
Yeah, no, Bondic was left a little bit to his own. I think mainly it was Shar not having the greatest of games that probably could have tipped it
get like
to a bit.
5 kills total.
Yeah, that definitely could have made things closer. The biggest problem for me is that, FlipSid, they do go through a T-side that's pretty well done. They don't have too much variation in how they play. They pretty much set up in 2 different ways, and that's either to get mid-control and then force a rotation by doing something, getting a pick towards someone who plays aggressively on Cat, or basically set up for your standard A executor A split. And they're good at it, but the problem is you might want to have that extra gear if you're going to go up against EnVyUs, especially if your CT side is so wonky as it was this time around.
Yeah, and the other thing, speaking of lack of variation, let's say, the best part of this is like Happy goes to Palace on A every single time on the T side, and he's so successful at it as well. It's like a couple of times he wouldn't get in, but when he did, it was like, hey, welcome to the A side, guys. I just roll out the red carpet and just everyone comes in. It's like, it was actually pretty impressive until obviously the CT side came around for FlipSid. Once the kind of economy got broken away from them, they never seemed to recover, and it just kind of spiraled on. But I've got to say, as you said, Devil initially on the T side looked great, especially in the opening pistols. I think he came back in and got 3 almost with the 5-7 pushing back in on the retake.
On the
and
CT,
the retakes were actually very solid, So yeah, I was actually quite impressed with him overall.
And also Apex actually on T side.
I like Apex Orping.
Absolutely wrecking.
Big fan.
Yeah, that AWP shot obviously, but also the entries he was doing. We were talking about the likes of Flamey, how he will boss a site, especially on Mirage, and just pile on through. Apex doing very similar role today.
Yeah, and you can definitely see that. And we have a good idea of what they want to do when they're on their T side as well, and they also reverted or ended up doing things very similar to what FlipSid were doing on their T side, except you could see what kind of mess the CT side becomes if you actually find the picks.
They were very fast actually on the Ts, weren't they? They were
pretty
very
quick.
confident, fast play. Envy had.
Yeah, you had a couple of A executions that were just lightning quick, and it definitely caught people. You could see the one round where World Edit takes his sweet time to actually get that peek down towards T pit, and then as soon as he backs off, gets caught out by a flash, and all of a sudden 4 of Envy are on the bomb side. But even then, when Envy decided to go for mid control, they managed to make it so that FlipSid are completely unknown as to where Envy wants us to end up executing. So you have weird situations where FlipSid make massive rotations towards the B bomb side while you have 3 Envy players going up connector towards A, all that kind of stuff. And that's just Envy being really good at denying any sort of map information and map control away from FlipSid. And so you would have liked to see some sort of variation coming out from FlipSid at that point as well. And it started really well with their pistol round. That was super cool to see. World Edit taking up such an aggressive position in mid. And they also had a really nice pop flash. I know Moses and Silver were talking about how they wanted to see the Molotov first, but that pop flash allows for Markelov to get 2 frags. And they work off of that. But if you're struggling with your just default setup on the CT side, just try as much as you can to change things up.
Pretty much it. I was like, okay, he's got that point.
Tick the boxes. He's like, set that one, set that one, set that one.
Yeah.
He's got everything in there. There was a couple of plus sides. A brilliant pistol from FlipSid on the CT side. Looked really impressive. Their little molly setup, etc.
You don't need to repeat it.
It worked out so well. It worked out so well. But anyway, guys, we need to go into a break. Before you do, let's check out the Score Esports app. Check out the Score stats, articles, everything that is in there, including obviously our hot match of the week. But we'll be back after the break. It's going to be Cobblestone for EnVyUs versus FlipSid.